This guy, bro. Your boy, man. Hey, come get your boy, bro. Come get your boy.
Yo, Paul Pierce, a wild boy, man. You ever watch them old episodes of Martin when Martin used to be like, "You a wild boy."
Yeah.
Paul Pierce, a wild boy, man. Paul Pierce,
Wow.
Paul Pierce is Paul Pierce lives his best life, man. This dude got fired from ESPN for going on Instagram Live with weed and strippers in his house. Like, you can't make this stuff up. But the reason why Paul Pierce is going kind of viral at the moment is because he slipped up and used the N-word during an episode of Undisputed. If ever there was evidence that you needed to know that a show was taped live,
Right.
this is your evidence. Because it was him, Keyshawn Johnson, right? Him, Keyshawn Johnson, and Skip Bayless. And they were doing Undisputed because Paul Pierce now is on. Everybody who leaves ESPN goes to Fox. It's like it's like the hip hop / NBA, NFL world where those dudes just all share the same women. These networks just share the same people. They bounce from one network to the next. But because Keyshawn was the same way. Keyshawn was on ESPN. They laid him off. Now he's on Fox. And here we go. Paul Pierce was laid off by ESPN, and now he's on Fox. And he slipped up and used the N-word during an episode of Undisputed when they were talking about the Knicks Pacers series. And so he went semi-viral for that, but I would say in a comical way. I don't think this is like serious controversy. Nah. But this here says Paul Pierce forgets he's on live TV and drops the N-word. Paul Pierce, the legendary former Boston Celtic, forgot he was on live TV earlier today. Pierce has already been in hot water at another network, ultimately losing his job due to his unfiltered social media presence. Now he may be in hot water at his current job after forgetting that he was on live TV and casually dropped the N-word. The 46-year-old Hall of Famer seemed to accidentally use the N-word while discussing the New York Knicks shooting guard Dante DiVincenzo with co-host Keyshawn Johnson on Monday's episode of Undisputed. The moment on Undisputed caused quite a stir on Twitter. Despite the scratchy audio, Pierce's usage of the N-word seems to have been widely confirmed on social media. Once more, Paul Pierce was the subject of criticism for using the N-word in a live appearance on Undisputed. Many fans on social media expressed their outrage and amusement at Pierce's choice of language in response to the occurrence. Ultimately, Paul Pierce definitely has a knack for viral moments, and this situation is no different. So check this out. We'll go ahead and play the clip real quick. It's hilarious. To me, this is hilarious to me. This was on Undisputed a couple days ago, I think.
First 3 games. Look at this, Nicky. DiVincenzo was averaging 29 points per game, 50% from the field. First 3 games. Look at
one more time for the kids at home. One more time, since it's only 11 seconds.
First 3 games. Look at this, Nicky. DiVincenzo was averaging 29 points per game, 50% from the field.
Hey, shout out! Shout out to Keyshawn for not flinching on that.
Bro, that was like an SNL skit where it's funny, but you have to like not break your character and just act like it's not funny. Yeah. That was good by Keyshawn. He actually kept a straight face on that way more than any of his takes. Like he's far better at keeping a straight face than he is at giving sports takes, in my opinion. Now, I didn't know that this was causing outrage. I was unaware that people are outraged over this, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised because outrage is the easiest thing to trigger nowadays. Everybody's mad about something. Every day people wake up, what are we mad about today? So I get that. That's the way the internet and social media works. I thought this was funny, but what did you think about this?
I mean, I thought it was hilarious, man. He caught himself mid N-word. He was like, "Oh snap, I'm on air," and it's like, "Yeah, bro." But it had to have been an outrageous stat or an outrageous something for him to break character like that. I'm trying to think if I have not, and knock on wood, man, all these Zoom meetings I do. Um, hey man, sometimes I relax in those meetings. Not like I don't go too personal about nothing, and they ask me about how my weekend is or whatever. I just tell them I relax or something like that. But sometimes, I make jokes, just lighten the mood and be that guy. And yeah, I've haven't slipped. So knock on wood. I don't even use expletives, bro. I don't even say ass, damn. Like I don't even talk like that at work.
Yeah.
So for the N word to come out, which helps, bro. I don't work with no black people. So if I work with black people, I might have got too comfortable. I think he just got a little too comfortable there. And where is Paul Pierce from? Is he from the Bay Area? Is he from Oakland?
He's from California.
Okay, yeah. They got a different way, bro. It's part of it. That's like hiring somebody from the Bronx and having them up there, from Brooklyn, and they're talking. He'll be saying dead ass every 10 seconds. So, hey, man, I think that this is for Fox Sports. Hopefully, there's nothing that comes out of this. It was an innocent. It was an honest mistake. You can see the instant regret on his face. So there's no need to like blackball him or throw stones or tomatoes at this guy. He didn't slur nobody else, man. He was just taken aback by that stat. So he just had to let the world know, and he got a little too excited, man. So yeah, man, Paul Pierce. I like him more as a retired person than I did as a player. I used to throw tomatoes at him then. Respected his game, but you know what I'm saying? I didn't care for him. But post retirement, Paul Pierce has been honestly just absolutely hilarious, and he keeps it real to a certain extent. A lot more than he still toasts a corporate line at times with certain things, but he'll unmute and say how he really feel, and he'll lay into people at times when they need to be called out. So yeah, man, I hope he keeps his job over this. The fake outrage on the internet, like you said, people wake up mad. So I wouldn't read too much into this. But what are your thoughts on Paul Pierce, man, slipping up on air, dropping the M-bomb on Skip Show?
Paul Pierce low key was Luca before Luca in terms of like somebody who looks slow and unathletic, but will still drop 30. And it's like, how is this guy doing this? You can't speed him up. You can't slow him down. He's going to play at whatever speed he wants to play, and you can't stop him.
And the shot was so slow.
It was.
Oh my God. You take me off to talk about it.
Yeah. And he still did his thing. I don't, it's crazy. But I hope that he doesn't get in trouble for this, man. This is nothing. The only thing about this that disappoints me is that there was outrage. Because otherwise, I thought that this was hilarious. The first time that I saw it, I laughed. And then I played it back. Every time I played it back, I laughed every time because it's hilarious. And it's like, what are people so mad about? The fact that he used it like on television? Like, I don't get it. Like, why are we still at a place with this word where it's so controversial? And it's like, I get it. I get why it is, but whose fault is that? If y'all hate the way that the word is so flippantly used nowadays, then own it back and stop using it as a cool product. Stop using it as a commercialized product. You know what I'm saying? It's all over your music. It's all in your movies. It's all in your powers and your BMFs and your Raising Canans. It's all over the place. They use it. The word is all over the place. And these various products aren't just consumed by Black people. They are mainstream products of service that are consumed by everybody. It's everybody's word. It really is. And I say that halfway facetiously because I understand how there's a part of that is wrong. But whose fault is that? We sold it. Like, if you farm a product out to everybody and then get mad when they consume that product, you're going to get mad at the consumer. You shouldn't have sold it in the first place. That's like, I remember one time, George Lucas, the guy who created Star Wars, he sold Star Wars and its various IPs to Disney for billions of dollars. right? That's why Disney owns and now everything Star Wars does now. Disney puts it out. George Lucas sold it, and then years later he's doing these interviews talking about how he sold it. I think he called Disney like he sold it to slave masters, or he made some kind of comment like that. Essentially, like I should, I sold it to the wrong people. It's like, bro, look, you sold it. If you cared that much about retaining the sanctity of your thing that you created, you shouldn't have sold it in the first place. You should have kept ownership of it, and you should have just kept making. You should have kept doing so that therefore, if movies get made or if they make TV shows or books or games or whatever, you still own it. You got final say so on what goes and what doesn't go. You know, the purity, this whatever it is that you wanted to do, you still have some say so in that taking place.
If it was, quick punch in. I've been here. I've been hearing on the streets, bro. Like Disney kind of bastardized the franchise.
Yeah, they did. They bastardized. That's what Disney does. They bastardize they're in the process of bastardizing Marvel. That's why they're trying to rein it back in because it's jumped the shark. But yeah, they bastardized Star Wars for sure, unfortunately. And it's like, bro, you ran the risk of that taking place when you sold it. If you wanted that to not be a possibility, you shouldn't have sold it. But you did because you wanted them $5 billion. So it's like, hey, man, why are we still getting mad over this word? Like, come on, man. Like, get over it. Like, look, I don't like the word being used at nauseum on a mainstream level the way it is now, any more than the next person. But I wasn't in favor of the word being sold as a commodity to everybody in the world in the first place. So that's kind of what happens. Who was he referring to when he used the word? Dante DiVincenzo, a white person. Like, you can't make this stuff up, bro. I'm not making this stuff up. He was using the word to refer to a white person.
Which is even funnier.
Which is so, I mean, come on, man. That is comical in and of itself. So it's like, this word is everybody's word. Do I necessarily think that that's the best thing in the world? No, but I wasn't in favor of this being the thing in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But we sold it. You know, you package it as a commodity, as a good and service, and then you barter it to be sold as an art form, and it's therefore consumed by everybody worldwide, not just the community of the people who made it and who popularized it in the first place. This is what you get: widespread consumption. It might slip through the cracks on a Fox Sports show from time to time. It is what it is, man. And we're talking about a basketball topic. That word is probably used the most when speaking on NFL, NBA, and hip hop music. I find it hard to believe that you're going to hear that word used in any context more than those three. So I just think people need to get over it. And if you really don't like it, then you need to buy back your art and stop doing all of this complaining.
Yeah, man. And I've started reducing it myself. I really don't use it as much as I used to. It's addictive, bro. You get kind of, you just start throwing it out there. But I've been more conscientious of it, and I don't say it as much. And honestly, when I hear it out loud, sometimes I go, wow, I had to say it like that.
I cringe every time I hear it now. I cringe. Personally, it makes me cringe. And yeah, I'm not trying to be holier than thou. I'm just speaking for myself. And me and you have talked about this a lot. I personally eliminated the use of the word from my own vocabulary a while ago because the use of it to me just became too confusing. Mm-hmm. It's like we get mad when this person says it, but not when this person says it, or this person can use it in this context. It's ridiculous. It's too much. Meanwhile, it's said all over the place and everybody's listening to the music, watching the TV shows. It's just become too confusing. So I don't get it. If you don't want the word to be used so much, then stop using it all the time. But otherwise, if you keep putting it in products that's sold to people on a mass level, billions of people worldwide, I'm not sure what you expect.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It'll come out. So, it's when I hear it going on throughout the whole conversation. I was trying to watch, clips of, I think it's Jeff T. He got his little podcast thing. He funny. I'll be trying to watch his clips. He dropping an M-bomb every sentence. It's every sentence. Everybody's the N-word. And it's just like, dang, bro, like I remember talking like that, but like in, high school, and even then it wasn't every sentence. So it's just like, you can clean that up, bro. You ain't got to talk like that. And honestly, bro, just expletives in general, whenever I'm hearing people talk, if you throw it in there, you know what I'm saying, like a little bit of pepper in your grits, I ain't mad at that. But you know what I'm saying, if you putting it like sugar and Kool-Aid, I don't want it, you know. Yeah, man. So I guess that comes with age, man. It's not that, oh, I'm dignified. It's just like, nah, you're just trying to be edgy for no reason. Like, you ain't gotta go there. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes your food does need a little cayenne pepper, a little kick to it. So you're going to use that expletive when, required. But if you're just using it just to just be using it. So in this context, again, man, I think he uses it in his everyday vernacular, I'm sure. Because whenever him and KG get to talking, they be dropping the M-bomb too. So, yeah, he just forgot where he was at, bruh. And the instant guilt that was on his face should be enough pain for him to deal with this whole situation. So don't fire him, man. Don't fire him. The instant regret, he already knew he did the wrong thing. It's like a dog when you walk in the house, and you know what I'm saying, and then you got that look on his face. You don't know what they did yet, but you know he did something. He know he did something.
Right.
And that punishment's enough for that guy. You don't need to suffer no more. So let the man walk.
Yeah, I'm with you. This to me is silly. I don't know why. Get over it, man. I thought it was funny. I don't really use the word like that anymore, really at all. I've eliminated it. I think it's cringe. Certain program, like I can't watch Joe Budden's podcast because it's just flying all over the place. They're just, they're saying it constantly. I don't think it's an age thing. I think it's a cultural thing because these people are 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and they're using it like fly. It just flies all over the place. It's just everywhere. And the invocation of the word to me has just become so confusing and so convoluted. I just can't. I chose to eliminate myself from that so that I didn't continue to add to the confusion. And look, that's just me. Other people don't think it's confusing. They just use it. But those same people who use it like that will get offended if the wrong person says it. And that's where I get confused because I'm just like, why? What music you think they listen to? What movies you think they watch? What TV shows you think they watch? Where do you like? There's no disclaimer on the music that says, hey, you can't listen, you can't participate, you can't use the word. So a lot of this stuff has just gotten confusing. And I know a lot of people will say, well, you should be responsible enough to not use it if you know it's inappropriate. Hey, man, that's fantasy land. Okay, in the real world, people are going to say stuff. If you give someone a license to spend money on things and then they can participate in it actively, things are going to happen. Stuff's going to be said. That's the way reality is. Okay, I don't live in pie in the sky fantasy world where you idealistically think people should do this under these circumstances. No, that's not the way things work practically. So people just need to get over it. It's here to stay. I hope the guy doesn't get suspended. I think if this was a white person saying it, they would have instantly been suspended, if not fired, for sure. But because Paul Pierce is black and there's this unwritten rule that black people have a different set of rules when it comes to the word, he should be fine. I don't know where the outrage is coming from. To me, I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious.
Hey, black privilege, baby. Black privilege, baby. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Paul Pierce, man. Retirement Paul Pierce. You are a hilarious man. So keep on doing your thing, and I'll be supporting from afar, bro.
Shouts out to the truth.
Seriously, still ain't better than Wade though.
No. Even though Wade is weird. Wade is a weirdo, but that's the facts.